upset against his division foe, but if the Eagles hold on, they will earn their second trip to the big game in 3 seasons and a chance to finish business they left undone last time. Now, Doug, I'll start with you. Would winning the Super Bowl mean more for Hurts, Saquon, or Sirianni?
Oh, not Sirianni. I don't buy that. It's either the quarterback or the running back. I'll say the running back. Barkley's been the story of the team for this year. He's obviously got, as the running back gets a shorter shelf life, Hurts will have other chances, you would think, to get to this spot. Who knows on the running back? He might only last another couple of years. Mm-hmm. He's been the signature point of their offense. Mm-hmm. He can come back and kill the Giants, which I'm sure he'll enjoy doing. So I'll say more significant, more important for Barkley.
I say Hurts. Here's the reason why. There's no question about Barkley's greatness. The issue was 2 things: his durability, meaning injuries, or the fact that he was playing for the Giants. What you're seeing him do on the football field, when healthy, he has always shown the ability to do that. A matter of fact, when we think about him, that reminds us, you're wondering how good Hurts is. You're wondering how good he's going to be when you consider that Matthew Stafford is still in the NFC, that Jordan Love is in the NFC even though the Eagles beat them, that Dak Prescott's in the NFC even though the Dallas Cowboys didn't even make the playoffs, that Jayden Daniels is here, of course. So you're looking at Hurts, and if Hurts wins a Super Bowl, especially if he plays the way he played when they went up against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl a couple of years back, then we're going to look at him totally differently. And as a result, in the future, we're going to look at the Eagles totally differently. This means the world to Jalen Hurts. He has to show up and do his thing.
That's a good answer. Yeah. Stephen might be right on that. That was a good one.
But
I think he beat me on that one.
Yeah, I think you're right, Stephen A. But with the Saquon part, it is also huge just with how he was dismissed by the Giants.
Yeah, I'm
We've
saying,
talked about it,
but we never questioned his greatness and his talent.
Yeah, you're right.
We're questioning that about Hurts.
We
won't if he wins.
Absolutely. Mad Dog, because I won't see you. Who do you have winning these games? Who do you have going to the Super Bowl?
Well, I want Buffalo and Washington. I'll probably get 1 right and 1 wrong.
Okay.
Good Lord.
So I'll say Bills, Eagles.
You're the degenerate gambler on this show.
Right.
You got people out there hanging on your every word.
And
you're like, I'll probably be right and one right.
You're going to get 1 right, 1 wrong.
We know who you want.
Who do you think my life on the line? Yeah. Life on the line.
Very dramatic.
Okay. Yeah. Buffalo, they're due. Allen's due. Chiefs are going to lose a close game eventually. They can't continue to win every close game.
Okay.
So maybe it's Buffalo's time. I think probably Daniels is a year or 2 away. 3rd straight road game. They're home. Eagles are familiar with Washington. They're not going to be surprised. Maybe Detroit was. So I'll say Buffalo and Philadelphia.
Okay. You don't have to pick yet.
No, I'm here tomorrow and Friday. He ain't.
Okay.
I'll wait.
All right. Don't go anywhere. We've got.
You make it sound like thank God.
After this.
Above the Heineken River Deck at Pier 17, we got Hawk, we got Kmart.
This guy writing copious notes over there.
We got these guys over here, Mel Kiper live in this hour. Let's do it. We begin with Championship Sunday X Factors. Hey, Hawk, who is the X Factor for Buffalo Sunday night?
It's Amari Cooper. Hasn't had a ton of targets over the last 5 games, and when you watch how he played it the first time against the Chiefs, he was their threat down the field. They're going to need it. Trent McDuffie, defensive back for the Chiefs, has been playing lights out. Had Nico Collins locked up last week. They need production out of Cooper.
Did Amari play Sunday in Baltimore?
Yeah, he did 1 target, 0 catches.
Okay, there you go. Neek, the Chiefs, who was their X factor on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's Chris Jones. He has the ability to stop an offense all by himself, and he was impactful in the last game. He's always impactful in their most important game. Josh Allen has been really good at avoiding the pressure of Chris Jones, but you can only run for so long. We'll see what the impact he has on this game.
NFC, Jeff, who was the X factor for the Washington Commanders?
De'Ami Brown from UNC. What are he and Jayden Daniels' connection? 11 of 13, 85%, $187. He is lighting it up. This throw and catch was absolutely insane. But Brown's going to be, it needs to have a major impact for them to win on Sunday.
We're starting to learn the names of these young guys in Washington. It's not just the quarterback. And then, Hawk, back to you. Who is the Eagles' X factor?
A.J. Brown. They're going to commit to try to stop the run of the Philadelphia Eagles and Saquon Barkley, which will create one-on-one matchups for A.J. Brown. Show up in your Honda Accord. Make sure you're reading Inner Excellence and be ready. And it just dawned on me. Does A.J. Brown have a Honda Accord deal? Because the Inner Excellence book with the number 1,
right?
Maybe Honda was like, hey, drive this in.
I like
Pound the sales.
That's a real receiver way to think about it.
I'm just saying. We don't do nothing for free.
Yeah. You're not going to throw me the ball. I'm going to find a way.
I'm going to make my money somewhere else.
Linemen drive trucks, bro. We don't get them Honda deals. We don't get that.
Silverado?
Yeah. We got to get
Silverado deals.
Kmart, let's talk about the Eagles here for a minute. Let's talk in particular about Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
The last time they played the Commanders, which was right before Christmas, that's the game that Jalen Hurts got hurt. Had the concussion and missed several weeks. Didn't come back to the playoffs. Now, last week, we see him getting bent in a way that a human being is not meant to be bent.
Right.
What are we thinking about with his knee? What are we hearing about his knee?
So today is important because we'll see and hear. He was asked on the radio about Jalen. He said, we've been preparing as though Jalen's starting, but we're going to see how healthy he is starting today.
Well, I don't think there's any question that if he is at all able to, he's going to play. This is the NFC Championship game. The question is, if his mobility is limited and that is such a huge part of his game, how does it impact the Eagles' ability to win this game on the ground, which is clearly the way they want to?
Yeah, I mean, we were concerned about him getting hit in the head a week ago, and that was going to impact him. And now you have the knee on top of it. His running ability is a big part of what opens up the offense for Saquon. And we know the short yardage situations, he's important. We know in goal line and red zone situations, his athleticism is important. The margins are so small in these playoff games and championship games. Having to kick a field goal because your quarterback doesn't have the burst to get it done, it could matter. So we'll see.
He wants to see it and fire it. And the more things he has to consider, the more his process slows down a little bit. So when you have a head injury and you have to worry about going down, he's considering that. If he has a knee, he's considering that. When the snow was there and the elements, he was a little late on some of those throws. The reality is, though, he has 2 #1 receivers. And what I expect the Commanders to do is to commit to stopping the run because they know it all starts there.
Yeah.
The moment they do that, he now has one-on-one matchups on the outside, which makes it a lot easier for that process. One-on-one, throw it to A.J. One-on-one, if they're safety over top of A.J., go to Devontae. That's pretty much the process for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I mean, but they haven't done it. It's not because they can't necessarily, but they just simply haven't. A.J. Brown, who I think everyone at this desk would agree is in a vacuum a top 5 receiver in the NFL. In their 2 playoff games, has 3 catches for 24 yards. It's almost impossible to believe.
I love when you do it in feet.
He has 3 catches for 72 feet. Yeah. They had 195 feet worth of passing in the game the other day. And look, this is 2025. Can you win a chip plays out of the passing game because it's less risky? I understand that teams are committing more guys to the box, and that's the reason Saquon is breaking all these long runs. I just cannot envision a world in which you can win a championship in football today without at any point depending on your passing game.
Like they're just saying, make me.
Right.
We keep saying that Hurts can't do it.
Right.
He hasn't had to. And so, like, if we are committed, and this is what the point I was making earlier, is offense is about being so good at one thing that the defense has to compromise themselves in order to stop it. They're so good at this that the defensive compromise themselves to stop it, and they still damn do it.
Exactly.
So, like, when someone stops it, like, I get what you're saying, Greeny. Like, I've watched enough modern football to also be skeptical that an offense like this can win, but we don't know that he can't. We know that he hasn't had to.